maybe you can answer the open question in the industry is like, can you actually beat XGBoost? And if so, in what cases? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, I know it's a very contentious debate. And if you look at the literature, quote unquote, on archive, there's lots of different types of papers on there with different academic standards. A lot of times the papers that say, oh, deep learning is better, aren't really comparing to very large XGBoost or very deep XGBoost ensembles. And a lot of times the papers that say XGBoost is better aren't necessarily testing on the largest data sets or data sets that where deep learning might shine. And so if you have a very simple data set, the way I like to think about a data set is if you imagine your raw data and your features and your labels, how many different discrete states that data can be in. And it's a bit of a trick question because you actually have to assume some sort of granularity that you impose on your data to be able to count the discrete states or the entropy of that data. And XGBoost models and deep learning models, they have some complementary strengths and weaknesses. And I think that XGBoost models are very efficient at finding these discretizations of your data that are complementary and diverse. And that's not something that neural networks are as efficient at doing. So they have their strengths and weaknesses. But I think an area where deep neural networks shine is where you have a lot of possible states that your data can be in, and there's strong interactions between those high cardinality inputs. So for example, at Uber, for the problem that I was working on, you're trying to estimate the ETA from a location to another location. And there's a long tail of possible locations. And so that's an ideal situation where you have like high cardinality data, a lot of possible states it can be in, and you have to estimate in the face of strong interactions between those columns. And that's not an area where tree-based models can work as well. I guess the long story short is it depends on what kind of data you have and how much of it you have.